So I decided to start a mini garden bed right here, and I frame it around with the log trees, and I have one sandstone right there, and I decided to put this little salsa display. I don't know what the name is. This is to collect water inside. I could either put water inside or let the rain fall inside. And I put these stones, these little crystal stones, and the crystal stone will help it for when the bee is thirsty and they want to drink a little water. They will go on top of this crystal stone. I don't remember what the name is. And this will help prevent them from getting drowned in the water, and they can take a little drink. And I think also the birds will drink from it too. Once, if it has enough water, they will probably drink from it too. Yes, leaving water around like that, you can breed mosquitoes and stuff like that. But if we have a lot of birds around here, so if they drink from this salsa display with water, once there's water inside, I think they'll eat the mosquito larva too. So I'm not really too worried about that. The mosquitoes is not that bad this year. Last year was a lot worse. And last year we had black flies. This year we don't have black flies. I overheard a conversation between two ladies in the store the other day. They say that they have black flies at their location, and last year they didn't get it. So I think the black flies, they travel or they rotate different areas across the island when they're going to come out and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm really glad I don't have black flies, because when they bite me, they scar me a lot, like really badly. At least with the mosquito bite, I don't get scars, but with the black flies, I do. So everything is growing beautifully. Look at the garlic and the radish. I noticed they're starting to form the root at the bottom. And the carrots inside is doing beautifully, and the peas, and everything is starting to look much better. I just wanted to show you guys. So this is the side that I want to put the raised bed. I want to put it, this is at the right, this one here is at the right direction that I want it to be exactly. But this one here, the tree that is behind it is in the way, and the tree stump over there is in the way. So my husband gonna see if he can try to dig up this tree. If not, we will cut it down, and we're gonna move this raised bed a little bit further back, and we'll start a fire and see if I can get rid of this get rid of the stump here, so I can push back the raised bed completely. So the reason why we're gonna see if we can try to save these trees is because we're planning on moving the trees, something like this. I think this would be easier to dig up, or these little baby ones here, like this one here. And we want to start putting them from the back of our property, beside the field here, all the way going from the back all the way down to the front of our property to form some sort of tree fence. Instead of putting fence, we put spruce trees all the way down. So once we're starting to cut down the trees, if we can dig up any baby trees, we will move them and put them there. As I told you, it's not really hard to dig in the ground here. It's the ground is actually really soft and easy to dig in. It's just digging up the root. We don't know how that will be, but see the apple tree that we found last year, I moved it from the other direction, and my husband planted here, and we planted much better here because the wind blow it down at the other side the way we planted. So we buried more deeper in the ground, and we are gonna see if it was survive this year, and let's see what happens. I know it's still alive, but we won't know until it starts to flower. So we won't know if it will survive until it starts flowering. But this is where we decide to move it. We have all of this other space. We have to cut down the rose bushes around here and the raspberry bushes, and try to level out this area more. And I have some plans over here. I don't know if we'll be able to do that this year, but we have all of this space to do whatever we want to do. But so far, this is what it looks like right now. And I also move one of the salsa display over this side also. I also move it over this side, and I did the same thing here, and I planted some flowers also at the edge of the beds that is here. And I think today I actually came up with an idea of the end of summer to plant one of these rose bushes in the ground over here. The end of the summer, the beginning of fall, put it over here, and this won't be here. This way, all of that junk that's there, whatever we decide to put behind there, it will kind of, in 3 years time, I'm hoping it will get big enough where it will block the view from there, and all I'll be seeing is the rose bush. The rose bush, my rose flower bush. So that's the progress that we made so far. So these are kale that survived from my garden last year, and as you can see, this one is going to seed. It's producing flowers. Eventually it's going to go to seed. And this is curly kale. And curly kale, I had 6 of them survive. I had 5 of them survive, but there's some sort of animal ate the other 2, so I removed the stem of the other 2, and I planted dinosaur kale also, and red Russian kale, and that animal ate the red Russian kale, and the I think the other kale was a flat kale, but the dinosaur kale didn't survive the cold weather that we have. here. We're in zone 6A. But these 3 kales, they survive, and the red Russian kale survive. So that's good to know. If I can get my kale to overwinter like this, and the next year, the following year, they produce flowers and go to seed like this, I can just save the seed of the kale, and I won't have to buy these kind of kale. I won't have to buy the seed anymore if I can save seed from them. So it's good to know that they can survive Canadian weather. So over here, I have some space in between the tiny onions. You guys can hardly see them, but there's some onions that's growing here, either onions or leeks, that's growing all over the raised bed here. So in between these onions or leeks, I'm going to put some kale in between them. I planted these kale by seed. I actually had more kale that I planted earlier, and they died indoors. So I planted just a few more of them more, and this is why they're this small. So I'm going to put them in between this raised bed. I'm thinking about buying more kale also from the garden center. I'll think about it, because I really like kale. So I even like to just grow it just to look at the beauty of them, even not to eat it, but just look at it. So that's what I'm going to do. And as you guys can see, all of my mint plants survive in the containers, all of them. This one is apple mint, this one is banana mint, this one is chocolate mint, this one is pineapple mint, this one I think it's chocolate mint too, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's chocolate mint. And this one is pineapple mint. Normally when I grow mint in container, when I was living in Ontario, they never would have survived the weather that we have there. So I never thought that these would survive, but I think maybe the way I put them together, like close together, it forms some sort of insulation. And all of these plants survive the weather, except these. These are seedlings of other stuff. This one is, as you guys can see, it's a herb, and the mint, they survive. Not mint, the strawberries survive. And I finally have an idea where I'm going to put the strawberries, because I didn't want to dedicate it to an area that would take up too much space. So I have 10-gallon 10-gallon grow bags. I'm gonna divide these strawberries and put them in there temporary until I can make a dedicated area to grow my strawberries, because they will spread. So that's what I'm gonna also do with the mint. I'm gonna put them in 5-gallon grow bags until we finally have time to make little raised bed for them. And the raised bed that we're going to make for them, it's going to be smaller. They're each going to have their own raised bed. They're going to be smaller than this raised bed. Than this bed. It's going to be maybe 3 feet higher than this one. And the bottom part, I'm going to put log underneath the bottom parts and seal it somehow. That way the root of the mint won't escape and spread all over. So we're gonna have to do that when we have time to do it. So I'm glad I have a lot of grow bags to transplant them in the meantime. And I didn't tell you guys what I'm growing in this bed here. Um, this is not really a raised bed, but it's a little dedicated bed. I'm growing marigolds, snapdragon. Those are snapdragon over there. These are marigold. These one here are I think they're dialos. Let me see. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, let me show you. These one here are these flowers here. Sometimes I can pronounce the name, sometimes I can't. I have loose tongue. But I remember growing these flowers last year, and the end of the summertime, that's when they started to flower, and they were really beautiful. And I didn't realize that there was tubes. They had tubes underneath, and I could have saved those tubes for the following year, and I didn't do that because I was in such a hurry. So I decided to buy them again, but buy them smaller, and this time I will save the tube of them, and I replant them the following year instead of go and buying it again. So, you know, gardening is just a learning experience, you know. It's a form of art to me.